The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of DigiAll. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to DigiAll Tech News. Today is December 11th, 2025. I'm Kylie Brooks. And wow, do we have some stories for you today? We're talking about everything from geopolitical tech chess moves to AI-generated Christmas disasters. This is where technology becomes clear and engaging, so let's dive in. China just made a bold move in the AI chip game, adding homegrown processors to official government procurement lists for the first time. The US extradited a Ukrainian woman accused of being part of pro-Russian hacktivist groups that targeted critical American infrastructure. Meta is causing some serious internal confusion with a dramatic shift from open-source llama models to a secretive project called Avocado. SpaceX moved nearly $95 million in Bitcoin yesterday, and it might be connected to what could become the largest IPO in history. And McDonald's Netherlands pulled an AI-generated Christmas ad after the internet collectively said no thanks to creepy digital characters. Let's start with China's AI chip story because the timing here is fascinating. Just 2 days ago, China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology added domestic AI processors from companies like Huawei and Cambricon to their official procurement list. Now, this might sound bureaucratic, but it's actually a big deal. We're talking about potentially billions in sales for Chinese chipmakers. Here's what makes this interesting. This comes right as President Trump is planning to ease export controls on Nvidia's advanced H200 chips for approved Chinese customers. So China's basically saying, thanks, but we're building our own. It's part of their broader push for tech independence, which they call Xinjiang. Now, here's the reality check. A financial institute executive mentioned they allocated about $14 million for domestic AI chips this year, but most are just sitting there unused. Why? Because all the trading models were built for Nvidia chips, so they need significant code rewrites. Growing pains of independence, I guess. Now let's talk about Victoria Dubranova. She's a 33-year-old Ukrainian woman who was extradited to the US earlier this year and charged with being part of 2 pro-Russian hacktivist groups, Cyber Army of Russia, Reborn, and no-name RO57 2016. And when I say hacktivist, I'm not talking about kids defacing websites. These groups allegedly targeted US critical infrastructure. We're talking about hacking public drinking water systems, causing hundreds of thousands of gallons of water to spill. They hit a Los Angeles meat processing facility, leading to spoiled meat and an ammonia leak. They even went after election systems and nuclear regulatory websites. If convicted, Dubranova could face up to 27 years in prison. The US is offering up to $2 million for information on Cyber Army of Russia and $10 million for no-name 057. These aren't amateur operations. They're linked to Russia's GRU military intelligence. All right, Meta's situation is wild. 2 days ago, CNBC reported that Meta has basically pivoted away from its open-source llama models to focus on a proprietary model called Avocado, and this is causing major internal confusion. Think about this. In July 2024, Mark Zuckerberg was praising Llama as the top open-source AI model. Then Llama 4 launched in April and apparently disappointed. So what did Zuckerberg do? Meta spent $14.3 billion in June to acquire Scale AI's founder and talent, bringing on Alexander Wang as Chief AI Officer and hiring people like GitHub's former CEO. Internal sources are describing cultural clashes and confusion as new leadership changes establish processes. Meta's raised their 2025 capital expenditure to $70 to $72 billion for data centers. That's a massive bet. And analysts are saying Meta's fallen from AI frontrunner to facing serious ROI scrutiny. It's a fascinating shift from open to closed, and it reflects Zuckerberg's concerns about risks like Chinese companies leveraging Llama. Let's talk about SpaceX and Bitcoin. Yesterday, SpaceX transferred 1,021 Bitcoin, worth about $94.5 million, through Coinbase Prime custody. This is actually the 9th transfer they've made in 2025, totaling nearly $924 million worth of Bitcoin. Now, why does this matter? Because SpaceX is preparing for what could be the largest IPO in history. Bloomberg reports they're targeting over $30 billion at a $1.5 trillion valuation. That would exceed Saudi Aramco's 2019 record. The timing could be mid to late 2026 or slip to 2027. And here's what's interesting. Polymarket data shows a 67% probability of exceeding a $1 trillion market cap on IPO day. SpaceX currently holds about $367 million in Bitcoin at current prices, though it peaked above $1.6 billion during the 2021 bull market. For context, Tesla holds about $1.24 billion in Bitcoin. And finally, let's talk about McDonald's Netherlands and their AI Christmas ad disaster. 5 days ago, they released a 45-second AI-generated Christmas ad with the charming slogan, "The most terrible time of the year." The idea was to position McDonald's as an escape from holiday chaos. But the execution? People called it creepy, poorly edited, with uncanny AI characters that looked stitched together. The backlash was swift. Social media users called it the most god-awful ad of the year, and there were serious concerns about job losses in filmmaking. 2 days ago, McDonald's made the video private and told the BBC it was a learning opportunity in AI exploration. The production company defended it, saying they spent 7 weeks generating thousands of takes. But here's the thing, this reflects a broader tension. Brands like Coca-Cola are using AI for faster, cheaper Christmas ads, but audiences are pushing back on quality and ethics. It's a fascinating case study in efficiency versus authenticity. So what connects all these stories? Technology moving faster than we can process it. China racing for chip independence while their models sit unused. Hacktivists targeting water systems while we debate cybersecurity funding. Meta betting $70 billion on a pivot. SpaceX preparing the biggest IPO ever. And McDonald's learning that audiences can spot AI shortcuts a mile away. We're in this fascinating moment where technology is both incredibly powerful and incredibly messy. And that's exactly why staying informed matters. We'll keep following these stories as they develop. Thank you for staying informed with Digital Tech News. We'll be back with more updates as they develop.